We are here to talk all things BBL 14 draft. So it's coming up this weekend, Vaughan. I know there's been a lot of work that have gone into this. Always a bit of pressure on making sure we pick those right players. What are we looking for this time round?
Look, we think we've got a pretty well balanced squad as it is. We've got a good mix of senior players and some exciting young youth. We've obviously strengthened our squad with the signing of Chris Jordan prior to the draft. We'll look at all aspects and all players who are available. We'll weigh up their availability versus the quality of the player. We'll look to add some batting, maybe some middle order, some all-round options, be it pace, be it spin as well.
You talked about availability. It is a nightmare. How do you work through that process? Because, you know, there's a lot of world-class players that want to come over here and play, but they're probably looking between 1 and 6 games, as opposed to someone that's going to be available for the full comp. How do you work through that?
It's something that all teams are discussing, and when we are on the cricket roundabout, it is an area of high discussion amongst players and amongst staff and amongst coaches. It's a juggle, weighing up 5 or 6 games, a high quality player who can be here for 5 or 6 games versus a player who doesn't get the same opportunities in franchise cricket, who might be available for 8 or 10 or even more into finals. So it's a juggling act, and we try and piece a puzzle together and determine player X and the quality of player X for 5 or 6 games versus player Y, who might be able to be here for 8 or 10 or even into the finals. Can
you give us a little bit of insight into kind of previous seasons then, and kind of where you think it's not gone well for us, that hopefully we might get that through the draft process?
Yeah, it's been, since I've come to Hobart, it's been a bit of a turbulent one with our overseas. We've found some success along the way, but it's been a little bit of a struggle to find continuity with players, being able to get them back year after year, and that's what's so exciting about getting Chris Jordan back. He's probably been our best overseas that we've had for a few years, and to be able to get him back, and you don't have to start again. He knows what he's walking into, and he knows the environment and the area, the ground, all those kind of things. So that's really important.
Yeah. So having considered that, Vaughan, you know, we've had a lot of great players here. We've got pick 4. Do you consider the kind of players that have experienced franchise players to maybe someone in the last 12 months has had a great year and in lots of form? How does that play out in the discussions that you're having?
I think it's a little bit of both of those, Sal. Plus, the world is actually, the cricketing world is a small place now, and if it's not our staff, it's our players who know pretty much every player on the planet, and have a good understanding of their skill sets and them as human beings. So we certainly take that into account in any of our discussions around players and how they would fit into the environment. Are they going to value add to our players? And obviously then the performance is really important for all of us and our fans.
Yeah, great. And lastly, it's been a big pre-season. We've had a bit of time in Darwin. You know, can you give us an insight into a kind of our local playing group? Who do we think is going to put the purple shirt on and come out all guns blazing?
You know, Riley Meredith, Nathan Ellis, Tim David. You obviously got Ben McDermott, who's been there or thereabouts, so they're really exciting established players. And then around that, you've obviously got Caleb Jewell, who's a really exciting local boy. I feel like he could really take, you know, he could take it on this year and really, you know, break through it, have a real breakthrough season. So, yeah, all of those guys, I think you'd be looking forward to coming and see. Who I enjoy watching, probably Riley. I really enjoy his energy and what he brings to our group. We know, you know, someone that can bowl at that pace and can certainly, you know, the game we played against the Stars, the reduced game, he got them going straight away, bowling fast, him and Ellis up front. So, you know, I feel if those two can bring their best, and we're gonna take some early wickets hopefully.
Yeah, I think it certainly helps availability from internationals with a less games. Vaughan, are we ready for the draft this weekend? Are you pretty clear in your plans, or are we still juggling a few balls?
I would say we're about 95% sorted. We know exactly how we're going to approach the first couple of rounds. And then we've got a depth chart of players that if someone gets retained or someone gets picked before us, we're ready to move on the next one. By Sunday morning, we'll be excited, we'll be ready, and hopefully we'll be able to value add to our purple team.